Hey guys, so I'm here a little bit earlier than usual with you guys, maybe 5 minutes early. I just felt like I didn't want to wait. I just go live at 7 normally, and you know that, but I just felt like I didn't want to wait. I had 5 minutes to spare, might as well go early and start with this particular show. This is a daily show. This is going to be a reactions show where I watch Temba Bavuma's press conference and then give you guys some insight into what I learned from the press conference itself. My hoodie's a bit skew, but I'm going to be chatting about it, watching it with you guys. I haven't seen any of it yet, to be honest with you guys. I try to keep it like for this particular show so that I can go through it with you guys and go through each individual point that stood out to me. But that's what today's show is going to be all about. It's going to be about Temba Bavuma's press conference. And I want to get into it and I want to get into it in detail. So let's get straight into today's show. What I'm going to be doing is, of course, is playing Temba Bavuma's press conference and reacting to it live with you guys so that you guys can get insight for tomorrow, for the game, of course. We did our preview show yesterday. You guys can go ahead and look at that on the channel. It is already there for you guys to have a look at. We gave some of the insight that we have with the little information that we withheld because, of course, there wasn't too much information given to us about the ground, etc. But perhaps Temba Bavuma will reveal some things in his press conference. So let's get straight into today's show. If you're new to this channel and have not subscribed yet, please subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell for all future videos, please. Very important that you do so. You'll get notified when we upload press conferences, when we upload any videos, interviews, exclusive interviews, like the ones that I did with some of the guys that have been picked up in the SA20 League. All of those are on the channel already in the exclusive interview section. Some women's cricketers I've interviewed as well. So go ahead and check those stories out. Very interesting interviews for you guys to delve into. But you know that the main thing that we have here is the monthly magazine. So if you want to learn about cricket and you want to grow your knowledge on cricket and you want to get involved with this Cricket Fanatics magazine, go to it and download it. It's 100% free, straight to your inbox every month. Every issue. I'm talking about the current issue as well as the back issues. You don't have to pay a cent, guys. So be a part of Cricket Fanatics magazine monthly. I'd also like you guys to help us grow South African cricket and help us promote South African cricket by getting involved with the Patron account. The link is on the screen as well as in the description for you guys to click through, and you'll see the different options that you can get involved with. And if you want regular updates, you can go to cricketfanaticsmag.com. So smash the like button, please, guys, and comment and share this video too. So let's get straight into today's video. Looking forward to reacting to Bavuma's press conference ahead of the first T20 between South Africa and Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. I'm coming a little bit earlier to you guys with our reaction show. I'm your host, Khalid, and this is the show where we talk about Temba Bavuma's press conference ahead of the first T20 between South Africa and India. So I'm going to be watching it with you guys and then stopping where there are parts that I think are worthy to talk about. So let's dive straight into it.
Can we expect more of the same? And you're playing here, so what are your expectations of the series?
Our expectations of experience, we obviously expect it to be a good one, a competitive one, as it always is. Like you said, the last time we were here, we were tested, we were challenged, in all departments of our game, and I think we answered it quite well. You mentioned the boundary count. That's obviously something that we can expect here in India, hitting sixes, hitting fours. The small nature of the fields as well will be something that we'll obviously be trying to match them. But yeah, I expect a good, strong, competitive series.
Yeah, and that's what everybody expects. I mean, the difficult part for us as South African fans is probably to separate the different formats and the way we're performing in the different formats. In ODI cricket, we haven't really found any rhythm, and in Test cricket, we shown signs of what our potential is. But I think that we are going up and down, and actually, we've deteriorated since Boucher took over in Test cricket, in my opinion. It's been very inconsistent up and down. But with regards to our T20 game, we haven't lost many T20 matches, even including the World Cup. So it's been quite a good run when it comes to South African cricket and in the T20 arena. It's been pretty decent run. So the fact that Bavuma is quite confident and he wants a competitive game and expects that is understandable, because what India has to offer, even a second string Indian team, is a competitive team. So I'm excited to see our players get tested. But let's see what the thought processes are going into this particular first match, which starts tomorrow.
Great, next one.
Thank you, good afternoon. This is your last T20 series before the World Cup. How was the preparations going for the World Cup?
Yes, this is our last series before the World Cup. Obviously, we'll be looking this series to fill up whatever gaps we feel are there within the team. We've got guys who've been playing a lot of cricket, so I guess it will be manage those guys' intensities, and we've got guys who need some cricket under their belt, so to give those guys the opportunity. But yeah, this is our last preparation. Different conditions, albeit India versus Australia, but still match time nevertheless.
Okay, so we get a clear understanding over there. Let's just let him cough quickly. It looked like he was going to. What it seems like over here is that we are going to see some guys get opportunities. So based on what he's saying is that a lot of the guys have played a lot of cricket, and we've seen some sort of narratives from certain fans saying that maybe that South Africa don't play a lot of cricket. But when it comes to T20 cricket, I think we play quite a bit, and especially domestic cricket as well, T20 cricket around the world. So I do expect them to give maybe one or two guys that have been playing regular cricket now over this short space of time a breather, and some of the other guys that maybe haven't played too much, like Temba, give them opportunities to bat and to bowl. So I am going to be expecting that we're going to see a team that maybe isn't our first 11. And from what he has said and what Boucher has said before the match as well, and before the tour, it seems to be quite consistent now with the narrative.
We'll take a couple from online. So we'll go Nathan, then Lloyd, then Johan.
Thank you, Lucy. Before I go ahead, is it okay if I can go ahead with this question to Chris Crosser?
Okay, they're going to ask
sure, no problem.
Crosser questions here, so I'm just going to force forward because I don't understand what they're saying.
Team,
Okay, so sorry
Lloyd,
guys.
then Johan.
Okay, here we go.
Thanks, Lucy. How's it, Temba? You want to make runs every time you bat?
Oh, that sounds like there's a break.
Lloyd, we've just
Lost him. Let's move forward again to
A lot has been said around you
Here we go.
personally, and you've been through a lot personally over the last couple of months. You always want to make runs when you play for your country, but do you feel like you've got more to prove than usual on this tour? Do you feel like you have to make a big statement over the next couple of weeks?
I think, to be honest, Lloyd, I think, as I said to Nathan, my focus is on the team. I obviously still have the role as the captain, and that is to lead and serve the team as best as I can. All focus for me, honestly, is on the World Cup and making sure that we are in the best space possible going into that tournament. Everything else, try not to give it much attention or energy, but at the moment, it's to serve the team as best as I can.
Okay, so now that's another indication that the focus is on the World Cup. It's also consistency from what Boucher has spoken about. I mean, I'd hope that they take the ODI seriously, though, the ODI leg of this tour, and that the focus will be on playing the best ODI team that they can. Although the T20 leg, I can understand them thinking about the World Cup. The difficulty is to be able to find out what they need to do in India that will prepare them the best that they can for Australia. Now, the only thing I can think of maybe is just getting form and hitting the ball through the line, smacking the ball over the ropes. We heard it's small grounds, getting almost range hitting in. And I think that will be probably the best preparation for South Africa to take on a positive approach in this match. It's pointless, I feel, for us to try and play a brand of cricket that is going to be combating this particular conditions if we are trying to prepare for the World Cup, because I don't think much that we're going to learn in Indian conditions on these grounds we can take away to Australia necessarily. But it's a lot easier said than done to just go out there and just play attackingly. These guys are there are some guys that are out of form over here, for example, like Temba Bavuma, that's going to need to be able to pull, and Quentin de Kock, they need to pull out their socks and show that they have the form and the ability to be able to cement their spot in that World Cup. Because I don't think anybody should be given a position in the World Cup squad or in the World Cup 11. I think the best players need to be picked on the day according to conditions that must play in the World Cup team to win a match. In order for us to have the best shot is for everybody to get into form. So that's what South Africa should try to do heading into this World Cup, in my opinion.
Thanks, Lloyd. Johan?
Morning, Temba. Just to double check, in June, India will without Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma. There's two good batsmen that make a big difference in their lineup.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, those are names. Those are big names with big pedigree behind them. But obviously, as you would have seen in the last while, in terms of the performances, boosted the confidence of the team. So, we expect them, to obviously come in, leading from the front. Good practice for the team. Good for us to be coming up against their best. But yeah, you expect those guys to bring a lot of confidence and expect into their team.
We mustn't underestimate India. They have a very, very good pipeline when it comes to T20 cricket. Their first team, their second 11, even I would go as far as going to even their third 11. They could probably create 3 teams of top quality players that can play this format confidently. So I expect something similar to what we had the last time we played India. The players came out firing. They came up really with an attacking mentality. And I think that's the way India is going to come out against South Africa again. And will South Africa be able to match it is the true question.
Thanks. We'll take one more online before we go back to the floor. Zahir? Oh, no. Go Zahir.
How's it, Temba? Just a similar type of question. Bhuvi Kumar was a big factor in the last series in front of the new ball. He's obviously not there, but Jasper's back, Bumrah. What type of challenges is it facing the Indian new ball bowlers, particularly in that power play up front compared to other sides?
Yeah, it is quite challenging. I mean, they get the ball to swing and move quite a bit. I think probably a bit more than what we're used to in South Africa. So.
Yes, Zahir. Temba is answering it. We'll supply the audio straight after this press conference for those who can't hear online.
Yeah, as I was saying, facing the opening bowlers is quite challenging. They get the ball to move quite a bit in the power play, probably a little bit more than what we're accustomed to back home. So, with the new ball, that's obviously a challenge that you have to maneuver around. I think probably the key is to limit that damage, not allow those wickets to fall, and then try and get some momentum going to the innings. But yeah, Bhuvi, I see a guy like Bumrah as well. They are a challenge with the new ball up front.
Yeah, and in this day and age, you're going to be facing that a lot, no matter who you play, I think. So that's something they need to combat and find a way around it. They can't keep on saying, "Oh no, you got the world-class bowlers that move the ball up front. We're not used to it in South Africa." I don't like that because everywhere you play, you're going to face that. Currently, the T20 teams are stacked. The bowlers are skillful, aggressive, quick. So he's going to have to face that as an opener. Unfortunately, if that's where he wants to bat, that's what he's going to have to face, and he needs to sort it out quickly because we have the World Cup coming. And he'd better get some runs in this test series, or this T20 series leading up to the World Cup, because it's going to be so important for his confidence going forward and to the confidence in the country in him as a batter, not as a captain.
Thanks to the guys online. We'll go to the floor.
Probably you have played this pitch before, some of your teammates have played. Do you reckon to be a high scoring man? How do you think that your previous experience will put you in good stead when you're playing in India tomorrow?
Yeah, I remember we played the A side. To be honest with you, I can't remember too much about the wicket. Generally a good wicket, as it always is here in India.
Fortunately, that it doesn't.
I think this field is a little bit bigger than the other field, so probably there are a lot more running, a lot more caps being available. But I think all all basics stay the same. When batting in India, you want to get through that new ball, and then try and get that momentum going into the innings.
And I hope that he follows that what he just said there. There's going to be a lot of gaps and running between the wickets. I hope that they run between the wickets. We've said it many times on this channel that there's other ways as well to keep the strike rate up and to keep the runs going, and that's running between the wickets, finding the gaps, putting pressure back on the opposition bowlers. In T20 cricket, a bowler doesn't have as much opportunities to make mistakes. So put the pressure on them whenever you can. If you can get a run off every single delivery, even the good ones, then you are doing a great job because you're putting the pressure back on the opposition to make to get your wicket. So I hope that they stick to that because that is also a way of playing. Running hard between the wickets is also aggressive and a smart brand of cricket, in my opinion.
Briefly mentioned about the disappointment of not going unsold in the auctions for South African T20 league. Does that spur you on, and does that is there a point to go as a leader of the national team, or have you put all those things in the back burner, especially the World Cup?
Yeah, I've tried to put all those things behind me. As I said earlier, my biggest focus is on the role that I have, which is to lead and serve the team as best as I can. Make sure that the guys are in the best place possible going into that big World Cup tournament. All other distraction, all other sideshows, I would call them, that stuff that I'll deal with on a personal level. But now here, being within the team, as long as I'm still wearing the shirt, it will be to lead and serve the team as best as I can.
Pretty
So, guys, that's enough. That's what we got from the press conference. Not too much, really, that was sent our way. Not too much that we really listened to over there in that short press conference, but enough to whet our palate for tomorrow's game. Knowing that it's a little bit of a bigger field, it also makes me feel that it will be maybe closer to the what we're going to get, obviously, to Australia with regards to size of field. But I think the pitch and the conditions and the weather conditions are going to be completely different, of course. So the challenges are going to be different. But I do think that there are certain skills like running between the wickets that they can get used to in India, and that you need to utilize it in Australia as well. But with fast outfields in Australia, the balls might go to the boundary a lot quicker, which will be a strength for South Africa. Because if they can start finding those gaps to get singles, etc., a lot of those runs were going to turn into fours and into fours ultimately. So that would be a good thing for South Africa going forward. But I want to see a strategy. I want to see them playing smart cricket. I want to see them analyze the conditions and perform the way that we know they can. So I'm hoping that a lot of what Bavuma says in this press conference that they actually put into action. There's a lot of talk that happens, and I never actually see the results of it. And I would like to see more and more of them produce what they say they're going to, and what they spoke about, and what they learned. This T20 squad, though, I'm not as worried about as our other formats. For me personally, I feel quite confident with this lineup. I think that anybody that they pick in that top six at the moment with the squad that we have is dangerous. So I'm not really that worried when it comes to the squad. I'm a lot more comfortable and a lot more confident when it comes to this team, the T20 team specifically. So I know that Boucher's going to throw everything into this, and I know that Bavuma is going to throw everything into this. So let's hope that the rest of the players can do so too. But guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. I'm going to read some of your comments right now to see what you guys have had to say. We had Lorenzo saying, reporter asked Temba a question in regards to his form and if he feels pressure to score runs, to which he replied that he's not really thinking about that, as he's more focused on the captaincy. I don't think that's a red flag. I think he knows that he needs to score runs as well, which he said later on in the press conference too, that he needs to make sure that he performs for the team. Temba is the team for captain only, unbelievable. SA should easily win the series as India has a few players missing, especially Hardik Pandya, while their bowlers are struggling to get wickets and leaking runs. Yeah, it's easier said than done. Like Avi says over here, India is not a cake walk. It's not an easy walk in the park. And you're right. I even think that their backups are brilliant. So anybody can get into that first 11. Going with MB and Temba Bavuma, Mark Boucher and Temba Bavuma has said in presses, it's clear that we are looking at the combinations. Maybe we'll see a top four of Quinton de Kock, Riza, Temba, and Riley with either Miller or Markram resting. We don't know what's going to be happening, but that could be an option. Not playing our best 11 in the series will hamper us moving forward. Yes, make a few changes. I think it will only be a few changes, Lorenzo. I don't think we are going to change every single little thing. And if you look at the squad, how much can they really change, to be honest? Not a lot of the guys that have been selected haven't played for South Africa in T20 cricket and haven't done well. So whatever you do, whatever combination you get, I think it will be relatively fair. I don't think it will be unfair necessarily. I think the only person that will feel hard done by for being left out is Riza Hendricks currently, if he does get left out. Until they win ICC titles, the three-team argument doesn't hold. Wait, looks like South Africa's T20 League doesn't rate Bavuma in T20s either. We've come to that already. This is a big enough ground for good challenge and cause that what we'll get in Australia, which I said a little bit earlier on. All talk seems to be about Temba, yet no one mentions Quinton Cock and his bad form for the Proteas. And if anyone watched the Caribbean Premier League, you know that Quinton Cock found form batting at number 4, not opening the batting, which was a suggestion that some people made going forward that he should bat at 4, maybe perhaps in the future. But yeah, I mean, I've seen how destructive he can be as an opening batter, and I want to trust in the player's ability. Khalid, I really hope Temba does get caught too much in the captaincy hype and then loses focus on his batting. We need runs from him. There's a lot of good captains in the side. Yeah, there are, but I think that they trust Temba Bavuma. The trust in Temba Bavuma amongst the players is ridiculous, and the respect from what I've seen and what I've heard. So it's very difficult to replace someone like that. No matter how good of a captain you have in the side, it's very difficult to the unknown qualities that Temba Bavuma possesses, the ability to be able to bring people together and making them believe in themselves is a special quality to have that is not just easy to learn. But I do believe, I do agree with you. He needs to perform with the bat. But it's now time for him to do so. He can't continue with the same form that he's been having leading up to this. Bavuma's always attacks a question regarding his batting. Well done, Bavuma, the passenger. I don't think he's a passenger, to be honest. The Cock struggles versus off spin, so batting 4 is a no. Let's hope that Quinton de Kock can find his form in India. I really am hoping that he can before the World Cup. But guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Don't forget to smash the like button, comment, share, subscribe, click the notification bell for all future video. We'll be back again tomorrow with a review show after conclusion of the match. So stay tuned to us. It's going to be a late night for some of you guys, but stay tuned to the channel, guys. We will be talking about everything that happens in that particular match. So hopefully you guys all stay tuned to the channel. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you guys very soon. Take care, peace, and enjoy the rest of your evening.